Ho, ho, ho! Thought I'd start out with a little Christmas cheer for you. Uh, we have an event in Fairmont that other towns don't have. I've checked around. Some bigger towns may do it. I don't know about small towns, but it's something that I think is one of the most precious things that can be done. And I want to share a little bit about that. In fact, since we're doing this on Monday the 8th, and the deadline for signing up is the 19th, and you watch this, I'm sure some of you are very religious about watching our videos. You may pick up on this and be a part of it. Ms. Chestnut, you may have experienced an event something like this somewhere else. My good friend Adrian Palmer, who has ED, Doctor of Education, she's a former principal, lives in Manio. She gave me this idea back in 2003, and I got up with James Thompson, our fire chief, and I'm not going to go into the long detail about calling her brother in New Jersey and him telling us about the program. Let's just say that James Thompson and I got together and decided it would be a great idea, and so we went to the town manager then, and I was the town commissioner, not mayor then, and they said that it's a great idea, and so we did it.
Yeah.
So 22 years later, we're getting ready to have our Santa Visits Kids program, and it's a wonderful program, heartwarming. And I'm gonna reserve a small portion of this video to tell you my 1,000 times story that, and I'll try and get through it, but it's the most heartwarming, touching thing that I have ever experienced. I have in my personal life, in my life, government or not. The very first year we did this, we went to the fire chief's house, and Santa went up the steps into the house. The door was open. I could see inside. His grandchildren were jumping all around. Santa was giving out gifts, and he had a split rail fence outside his property. This was Leesville Road. First year, first house we went to. So I'm leaning on the fence like this, with my elbows, and I detected movement to my left. And I looked, and there was a little boy, little African American boy, standing beside me. Maybe 9 years old, maybe 10 if you stretch it. And I didn't say anything at first, and he said finally to me, "Hey, mister, is that Santa Claus in that house?" And I said, "Yeah, that's Santa Claus." And there was a pause, and he said, "The real one?" There's a son named, but one Santa Claus. And that's him. So it felt like a week went by, but it was a very short pause.
Yeah.
And he said, "Do you think it'd be okay when he comes out if I gave him a hug?" And I said, "Come on with me." And I took his hand in my hand, and we walked up to the steps down the bottom. And when Santa Claus came out, I nodded and winked and nodded to my left. And Santa Claus came down, and this little boy put a bear hug on Santa around his waist that no professional wrestler could have possibly equaled.
Wow.
And it felt like he did this. It's 22 years ago, folks. I remember it like it's happening right now. It felt like it was a week went by, but it was just a brief moment. And then he stepped back and looked up and said, "I love you, Santa." I have never forgiven myself for what happened next. I was so overcome by the moment. I didn't get his name. I didn't get his apartment number, because I know he came from the McDaniel Street apartments. I didn't get anything. He just left. He just went away. And that was 22 years ago. He's probably 31, 32 years old now, if he's still alive, and I hope he is. And I know that he won't hear this. But that's how my very first Santa Visits the Kids started. And there have been other similar events. What do you think about this event in this project that we do?
One of the things that, we keep going back to is, why stay in rural America? Because we have things like this for our children. Yourself, our board of commissioners, and our staff cares about our children in our town. We do things throughout the year for our citizens, but when it comes to Christmas, we embrace the spirit with our children in this town. whether it's them coming up and Christmas caroling, they do that every year.
Absolutely.
You know, making sure our kids get toys, delivering presents on behalf of parents for Santa Claus. You know, those are things, like you said at the start of the video, that we do here in Fairmont, North Carolina, that isn't done nowhere locally around us.
I know of no other town in our county that does this.
You know, so you know the impact that your local government leaders, the mayor, the board of commissioners, myself, that's how we manage our community, by taking care of and showing care and concern for our citizens, because no one is making us do this. We are compelled to do this by our hearts and our care for our community. And if it changes one life for the better, it's worth it, Mr. Mayor.
There's a standing rule at my house. Do not plan any meal or any kind of activity between 5 and 8 o'clock on the Christmas Eve. For the last 22 years, my car has been parked in the town hall parking lot because I lead Santa. And recently we have picked up the Grinch. The Grinch operates with us, the good Grinch,
Yeah.
not the bad
Yeah.
Grinch. And I'm the one that makes out the itinerary. They give me all the names of the people who signed up, and I try to plot out a travel log so that we won't be haphazardly all over town, so we can get through in 3 hours. A fireman drives the truck, Santa rides in the truck, we go to the house. What I want to say to you parents is this: if you live in town of Fairmont and you want to participate, all you've got to do is go down to the water department, bring the gift wrapped, or gifts if it's more than one child. They don't have to be your children. If you want to honor a neighbor's child, it's whatever. Give us a name, an address, and a approximate time. I can't guarantee 7:30. I can't guarantee 5:70 or 5:45. I can't guarantee those things. We'll do the best we can, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Now, if it happens after the 19th, we're closed the week of the 22nd. You call my cell phone number, 910-740-0277. I will go to your house and take your gift and the information. I've done it many times. Don't mind doing it at all. If I have to do 20 of them. The thing that bothers me, and really is surprising, Adrian's brother he's the fire chief in Little Silver, New Jersey, 12,000 people. First year they did it, they used 1 fire truck. Second year, they had to use 4 fire trucks.
Wow.
Third year, they had to use 8 fire trucks. Of course, it's a different town.
Of course.
When he told me that, I panicked because I figured
It'll
we've
blow
never,
up.
ever had to use but 1 fire truck.
Yeah.
We've never gone over 25 homes. And I cannot for the life of me understand that.
Yeah.
I know more about this program than anybody else except Santa Claus. And I just cannot understand why we don't. It's free.
Yeah.
The only thing it costs is for the parent to buy the gift, or maybe they got one there at the house already for Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is a free gift,
Yes, sir.
free program, but you got to live in town, okay? We have hedged before with 100 yards right outside of town, but we can't deliver all to the county. We want you to participate, parents. This is a heartwarming, wonderful program that we do, and it brings back great memories. There is no other. Memorial and Veterans Day are numbers 2 and 3, tied for 2 maybe.
Yeah.
Nothing compares to this Santa Claus thing in my mouth, in my world, in my world. So, parents, feel free to jump in, call the water department. They'll tell you what time they're open. Come on up, bring the gifts. They'll store them for you safely. We'll put them on the truck safely. We had a little problem last year. We lost a gift, and we panicked, but we found it, thank goodness, because we have to put them on the truck a certain way so we can get them off in a certain way. Please be a participant.
Yes.
Santa visits the kids.
That's right.
Thank you for listening, and Merry Christmas if we don't see you or talk to you anytime in the future, and hope you have a great and happy New Year.
Yes.